Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're highly welcome. My name is Juliana and I'm a makeup lover, especially colorful makeup. So today we're going to be talking about the latest Glamlite palettes in my collection. Earlier this year, Glamlite was having sales on their website, and since I had my eyes on the ice cream palette, I decided to go ahead and make a purchase. So I purchased the ice cream palette alongside 3 other palettes, and which is what I'm going to show you today. So in total, I got 4 palettes as well as this calligraphy pen, which is a liquid eyeliner, and is what I've got on here today. It's a fantastic eyeliner. I've already featured this pen, which I did in my January-February haul video, which I will link to this video. But today we are going to be talking about the palettes. Okay, so one of the palettes I got was the Dino Palette, and this is what the packaging looks like. I mean, one thing about Glamlite is they've got fantastic packaging. I mean, they might be bulky, but they are pretty and beautiful, so I love it. So this is the packaging, and the shades are on the back as well. This is one of the palettes I used in my last look. If you've seen that video, then you will recognize the inside of this palette. Such a beautiful palette. One thing about Glamlite is, if you love indie formulas but you don't like single shades, Glamlite is a brand that their palette is worth collecting, or their palette is worth buying, because the formulas, the mattes, the shimmers, they are just like indie brands. It's just that they come in form of a palette as opposed to single shades. So just so you know, today is not going to be about the formula of Glamlite. I already know, because I have a few palettes in my collection of theirs. So today's video is just to show you the palettes I got. We'll check out the color payoff, and as well as swatch a few of those shades, just so you can get a feel of them if you've never experienced Glamlite before. Okay, so let's start, like I said, with the Dino palette. So this is what it looks like. And when this palette first came out, my first thought was it was similar to the cake palette, because I already have the cake palette, but I later on went and checked, and although the colors might seem similar, they are not exactly similar. The tones are very different. All the blues, all the purples and pink in here, they are definitely different from the cake palette. Let's just swatch some of the shimmers. So those are the shimmers in the palette, but I'm also going to swatch this highlight shade in the middle, because this shade is absolutely gorgeous, especially for the inner corner. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. That is gorgeous. So those are all the shimmers in the palette. I'm also going to swatch just 2 mattes in this palette. I'll swatch the blue and the purple, because those are usually one of the difficult ones to formulate. So that's the blue and that's the purple. Absolutely beautiful. I've already used both shades, so I know how they perform. They perform well, as you would have probably seen in my last video. If not, go and have a look. So yeah, this is the purple and the blue. Beautiful. Okay, let's move on to the next palette. Alright, moving on to the Paint Pro palette. This is the packaging and this is the inside. So this palette is actually the second to the bigger one, the medium. I believe when they first started. So this is actually smaller, and I'll just for reference compare it with the first one that they released. So that's the first one, and I'm going to put it behind. As you can see, it's pretty smaller, way smaller than the original one. And I'll also compare it to the bigger one, just so we can check whether the colors are dupes or similar or whatever it is. Well, this is the Pro palette. And it's so easy to hold. I mean, when you're doing your makeup, all you have to do is just dip your brush into the colors and then carry on with your eyes, and it's very light as well. So I don't know if that's something that you are wondering. It's actually very light, very light. Alright, okay, so let's have a look at some of the shimmers here. Okay, this is actually got 6 shimmers, and of the 6 shimmers I'm gonna swatch 4 for you. Just love beautiful unique blues. Alright, that looks like a duochrome. So those are the 4 of the 6 shimmers in the Paint Pro palette. Their shimmer formulas are just exactly as you would have in single shadows from any indie brands. So definitely, if you are not up for, or you don't really like the idea of single shadows, then this is for you. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, I'm also going to swatch formats. So this, that, the orange, and maybe the yellow. I'll actually swatch this green as well, although it's going to be awkward putting that on my hand. I'll try. So the green, oh wow, that's beautiful. So that's the green, and then the lime green, or whatever you want to call this, purple, orange, and the yellow. Beautiful. Let's do that yellow again. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, like I said, this is not my first time using the formula. I love the formula. They apply well. I haven't got any problems with the formula. It doesn't get patchy on me, so I haven't got any complaints. Okay, alright, now let's look at the original paint palette. I mean, look how bulky and massive this packaging is. So big. Let's compare it to the Paint Pro palette. I mean, look at this one. Look how big that is. And look at the small one. And in terms of the width as well, so it's so much smaller than the original one. And this is like I don't know if you can hear it, it's like a big cardboard kind of packaging, and this is just like paper. Yeah, so those are the two in comparison, and this is the palette itself. Absolutely massive. But again, I mean, even though this is slightly heavier, you can still hold it to do your makeup, you know, put your brush in there and carry on. But it is definitely heavier than the first one, the Pro palette, the new one that I showed you. Now let's look at the colors and the shade. And if you look at this, I don't know how I can show you, you see that the tones of each of the colors are definitely different. Let me put it this way. Okay, for example, look at this purple. The purple in this bigger one is way darker than the ones in the smaller palette, so they are definitely different. And looking at the, if you look at the bottom again, can you see the reds, the pinks? You know, they're definitely darker in this one than in this palette. The similarities, this also has 6 shimmers, of which I will swatch 4 again. So those are the 4 shades we're going to swatch. So purple, yellow, green, and I don't know what this shade is. It looks like white, but I don't think it's white. It's like off gold, so I can see yellow in it. I think it's a duochrome because I can see different shades in it. Yeah, I mean, and that green, oh, even all the colors, just look at that. That is comparable to any single shadows. They are absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at some of the mattes. I'm gonna swatch blue, green, red, and possibly this pink here. Okay, these are the colors I'm gonna swatch. So the blue, the green, red, and pink. Look at that. Yes, so nice to use as well, so buttery. Okay, before I show you the final palette, we're just gonna do comparison on some of the colors. So this, like this purple, I'm gonna swatch it next to the purple in the bigger palette. So this is this one from the Pro palette, which is the smaller one. Now let's swatch the equivalent in the big palette. As you can see, it's totally different. I'm also going to do another color. So let's compare the greens. So this green. So this is the green in the small palette. From the big palette, you see they are all different in tones. Even though they look similar when you look at the pans, they are totally different. Okay, the fourth and final palette I got is the ice cream palette, and this is the packaging. Absolutely gorgeous packaging. The palette would just kind of sit here, so it's similar to how they designed the cake palette as well. And the palette itself is quite small and easy to hold. So this is what it looks like, and I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times. And this is what the inside of the palette looks like, and the cover is so easy to flip as well, so easy. Look at that gorgeous palette. This is definitely what made me make the purchase in the first place. I mean, the minute it came out, I really wanted it. Same as the cake one. The cake palette was actually how I discovered Glamlite in the first place. I really wanted that palette, and it was the same when they brought out the ice cream. Such beautiful and unique colors put together in one single palette. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like having multiple single shades. I mean, I have no plan whatsoever to depot this palette, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's more or less pastel shades. I also recently got the pastel palette from Playing in Makeup by Yolondo, which I would definitely love to compare one day. If you're interested in such a video, let me know. This is what that one looks like. So this is the one from Yolondo, and this is the ice cream. So it's quite, they've got some similar colors, but at the same time there are definitely different shades in there. So I think it's definitely worth having the two. And look at that. And this has got like a darker matte, darker purple matte. This hasn't got, so I mean, they are quite similar and they are quite different at the same time. So and I'm just going to swatch a few of the shimmers from the ice cream palettes. So these are the ones I'm going to swatch. Oh my, that looks like a duochrome. Absolutely gorgeous. And look at this blue, pink, and I want to say peach. Yeah, peach. Let me see if I can swatch more for you. Beautiful pink. Oof, what is that? Like brownish peach. Oh. Can you just see the reflections in these shades? Oh, how the camera is picking it up. Can you see that's duochrome? But half of them are duochromes. Beautiful. I mean, I love shimmers and palettes. It's the first thing that I get drawn to when I look at the palette is the shimmers, the ranges of the colors, the reflectiveness. The more shinier they are, the better. And Glamlite, they know how to do shimmers. Honestly, they know how to do shimmers. Absolutely gorgeous palette. And I'm just going to swatch a few of the mattes as well. I am totally covered in glitter all over my hands. Look at that. This is the fourth video I'm actually filming today. I'm trying to film these videos in advance because I'm going to be unavailable at some particular time. So if you see this look 4 times, apologies, I had no choice. Alright, let's swatch some of the mattes. I try to swatch the lightest shades just so we can see how they swatch on the ends, whether they are chalky or not. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm not expecting any less from them, to be honest, and I really don't mind the swatches because I know they will perform. Just gonna top up that green. Oh, absolutely lovely. I can't wait to dive into this palette, honestly. By the way, if you haven't seen the tutorial of this look, this is the palette I use, the Yolondo Pastel palette. It's what I use, and I'm really itching to compare it to this same Glamlite Pastel palette just to see, you know, how it's going to perform. I mean, for this one I have not used any white base. I just used my normal base, in fact even very lightly, and it still managed to show up on my face. There was no chalkiness, there was no patchiness. I absolutely love this one, so I can't wait to find out how the ice cream palette performs as well. Alright guys, so those are the palettes I got from Glamlite. At this point I think I have enough to be able to do a ranking, which I will put in my future schedule. I'll do a ranking just in case you're interested, you want to buy a Glamlite palette and you don't know which one to buy. I will do a ranking so you know which one I like, and I'll tell you the reason why that comes in a particular position, because that could kind of affect your decision in terms of buying any of these palettes. Alright, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I'll see you.